back to the Claremont Classic Garage. It's, well, as usual, because we got something to do. It's a foggy, schmangy, wet, damp, miserable morning. But hey, we woke up this morning, so it's a good day. We're on our way to Jackson's Auto Wreckers. Imagine that. Remember, in the fall, Jackson's Auto Wreckers is a very old wrecking yard that's been closed for many years. And before they crush it out, they've opened it up to the public so we can go in there and pick parts and buy cars, whatever you figure you got to do. And at the end of last year, that was it. It was supposed to be closed forever and then crushed out this spring. In the meantime, they had a couple of auctions there of all the stuff that was inside the buildings. I'll put links in the description box below to all my videos about Jackson's Auto Wreckers. And they announced over the winter that because of popular demand, and they're going to open up the yard again in the spring. So, and my apologies off the bat to anyone who watched my auction videos about this, where I said the dates that the yard was going to be open. Somewhere in the midst there, the dates got changed, and I wasn't aware of it. And anyway, some people showed up there on wrong days. I hope it wasn't because of me. If it was, I apologize for that. Anyway, so they're doing 3 weeks of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then that's it. So week 1 has already passed. We didn't go because for the first 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, well, Thursday and Friday for sure, it just poured rain. On the Saturday, we were kind of wanting to go to the Lindsay swap meet, so we went there and got soaked instead. And then Sunday last weekend was actually the only nice day of the weekend, but unfortunately, it was the greatest day of racing. Monaco Grand Prix, Indy 500, and World 600 from Charlotte. I wasn't going to miss that, so we didn't go. So now here we are. It's Thursday of the second week. Rain or shine now. I'm down to my last 8 chances to go there. We're going. This fog and everything is supposed to lift off very soon, and at least it's not going to rain today. And then the next 3 days don't look too bad at all. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to keep making videos about going there every single day. But what I'm going to do with this, we're going to keep going there over the next couple of weeks. But I'm just going to do this opening now. If there's anything interesting in the yard that I want to show you, I might pop in here and there. And then at the end, I'm just going to show you all the stuff that we got or found or whatever over those 2 weeks. And then that'll be it. So anyway, we'll see you when we're in the yard. Hope this lifts. Here's a cool thing we found. A front bumper for a 71 through 73 Camaro. It was stashed in this bus here. So I dug it, I put it out here where somebody is sure to find it and make sure it ends up back on a 71 Camaro. So here's our loot from day 1 at Jackson's. I got this Chrysler oil pan. It's kind of banged up, but it's a Roadrunner pan, and it's got the baffles in it. So you could find like a Newport pan or something that doesn't have the, and you could just put these baffles into it and have yourself a baffled big block Mopar oil pan. What I really got this oil pan for was because I went in a school bus and I found the mother lode of Ford clutch linkage parts. All of this stuff, all Ford clutch linkage bits from different Ford models and different years. So I used this oil pan just like this to carry it all. Look at that. Aren't I smart? That's good. Very good to have all that stuff. It's just going to get crushed anyway. And I found a clutch fork because I've got a truck bell housing and I can't remember if it's got a fork or not. Now I got a fork for it. We were looking the other day for an air cleaner for a 9N. Look no more. We've got one. Deb found this on the back of an old station wagon. That's pretty cool. We did find some more tractor parts. That's a breather for a 9N. A rad cap, although somehow it's gotten cut. Don't ask me, but it's a rad cap. Piece of throttle linkage for an 8N. Look at this. 2 yellow top Ford coils. Oh yes, everybody's always looking for those including me. Deb found this really cool old jar, but she says she wants to use it for a bud vase. We got a pair of Ford tractor running boards. These are off something newer than what we normally mess with, but they're running boards. We can put them on anything. A couple of interesting tools I saw. I have to see what size this is and see if I can use it on spark plugs on a Ford flathead. We got these cool old stainless steel. Look, fits all standard makes of cars. These are from like the 50s. Pretty cool. Stainless steel splash guards. This really tiny little radio. Oh, I hope it works when I test this. I hope it works. The tuner works and it's solid state. Oh, automatic radio. Yeah, they're good stuff. Good. Ground is reversible. Perfect. That's for a Chrysler bell housing. As is this. These are also bits from a Chrysler bell housing. I got another one of those. Here's some Chrysler clutch linkage we found. These are mounting brackets for a Ferguson manure loader that go on the front axle of an old Ferguson tractor. I'm not sure if they've got something to do with it also or not, but they were laying there, so I grabbed them. And we got a crank pulley and a governor for a Ford tractor engine. And the last thing we got, Deb got this great big roll of webbing she found in the barn for her projects that she does. So all in all, it was a pretty good first day. We didn't really do too much filming in the yard because the weather was kind of schmengy and I didn't feel like taking my camera out. It was just kind of, you know, we were walking around like this all day. It was just not nice in there. But we had to go because we missed all 4 days last week. So tomorrow the weather's looking a little bit better. I'm not going to be really scrounging the yard tomorrow. Tomorrow what I want to do is I'm just going to walk through and video document the entire place. So that'll be a whole separate video. And it'll probably be a long one, but one that everybody will probably be wanting to see. And it'll be something that we'll want to look back on years from now when this is all over and done with. Anyway, we'll see you back in the yard Saturday. Okay, so here we are. This is our haul from our second day of picking at Jackson's Auto Wreckers this spring. It's actually our third day in there, but the second day all I did was walk up and down and film, and I made a nice movie for y'all. Anyway, this is what we got today, and it is pretty heavy on tractor parts. So if we come around to this side, I'll show you. There was one truck box with basically the remains of a 1941 9N and a front distributor 8N, so a 48 or 49 8N. And in there I found this. It's a whole cast iron steering box and dash from a 41 9N. It's only got one little crack in it, and it's missing one tiny little piece over there. Usually they're busted. These whole corners will be busted off from them smashing into stuff with the front of the hood. It breaks them off. We also got, these are not the most desired 8N steering box. This is a 4-bolt from a 48 or 49. But you know what? This one is actually not too bad. So what the heck, it was there. I don't want to see it going in the shredder. I don't know what I'll ever do with it, but I'll put it on the shelf in the barn, and somewhere along the line either me or Nick will consume it. Now this is great what we found in there. This is the hydraulic lift cover and the lift pump from an 8N. So this here, it's got the little lever on the side. The what does the lever on the side of my pump do? This has position control. So you can put this pump and cover on a Ferguson or a 9N or a 2N and end up with position control and draft control just like an 8N. So we're very happy to get that. We also got from the 8N the original drag links. The ends are pretty decent in them, so we can use those. And one of these factory style top links, but I've never seen one this long. I'm not quite sure what it's from, but again, it'll get used up for something around here. We got a crank pulley, an oil screen. I know it's smashed, but we'll try to straighten it out because these things are 28 bucks to buy new. This is a front distributor 8N wire tube. I got a 9N air cleaner cup. a really nice 8N battery tray, which is mostly why I bought that steering box. And a couple of cylinder heads. We've got an 8N cylinder head and a 9N cylinder head, the interesting one, the 41, with the two bungs. The two bungs for coolant senders, like we have on our 9N industrial. I'm not too sure what that's all about. I got to do a little bit more research. Oh, and we got the side louver for the hood on the 8N. On to car parts. We got some FE, Ford Big Block stuff. I found a Duraspark distributor for an FE. That'll be out of like a mid-70s truck. Oh, this is a tractor part. Let me put that over there. We bought a pair of running boards from 100 series or something last week, but I could only find one bracket. I found the other bracket today. That's good. I got a clutch fork from something. This is an FE dipstick and tube. Always looking for those. Kind of an interesting little thin carburetor spacer, and it's got a little bit of taper to it. This here is a stiffening bracket from the block to the bell housing on a slant 6. Although I think for the stick shift one with the larger clutch, I need a bigger one. But anyway, that's what I found. We got some FE valve gear. Always good to have that around. We got these. These are little steps from a school bus. They're kind of neat. Not sure what we'll do with them, but we'll find something to do with them. A bell housing inspection cover, and then we got this here. This transmission. This is a SROD. So what this is? This came out in the late 70s. They were used for a few years. SROD stands for single rail overdrive. This particular one is from an F-150. These were also used in the first Fox body Mustangs from 79 till like 83 or 84 when the T5 came out. What's unique about this is it's kind of built, you can tell by the cover, on the old top loader sort of architecture. These things were only ever used behind small blocks, up to and including 351s in the trucks. So it's a 3-speed with overdrive. Now the thing is, this truck one, the ratios are a little goofy. It's got a 325 first gear in it, which is a little much for a car. But the Mustang one has a 301 first gear in it and much more car-friendly gear ratios. The problem with the Mustang one is that the shift location is all the way at the back here. And if you want to use that on an older car with a bench seat, you're going to have a problem. So what we're going to try to do is use the forward control tail housing and that from the truck and see if we can mate that with the front half of the car one. I don't think it should be a problem. And then we can have kind of like a forward control SROD with decent gear ratios in it. Much like us guys always looking for the S10 T5s, right? Because they're forward control. So that was pretty cool. I was very happy to get this. I saw this transmission in the school bus the other day, but I was concerned because there was no shifter. So I scrounged in the school bus today and found the shifter. So we're all set. It seems to shift through the gears. Deb and me checked it. Everything turns like it should. So I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. And that'll do it for our second day of picking at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. We'll see what we find on our third day. That's tomorrow. Here's a couple of cool pieces. A couple of Ford 9-inch war casings. They call them war. It doesn't mean anything aside that the casting code was WAR. These are the original 9-inch castings with it's got the double rib, but not the N for nodular iron. That came later. And when they made the nodular, they went back to the double rib style. But anyway, whatever. That one's got a 300 one wheel peel. And this guy here, this is a 57. Look at a 57 round back. Man, that was a nice rear end. Guys go crazy for these things, but well, this one got poked by something. Anyway, it is what it is. Here's our loot from day 3 of picking at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. We didn't get too much today. It was such a nice day. We were really just kind of walking around looking at stuff. I did spend a little time, or waste a little time. I took a couple of rear ends apart. Ford 9-inch rear ends, praying that I'd find a track lock, but I didn't. Unfortunately, in that place, you got to fight. You got to fight to get the drums off so you could turn it to see what it is, because number one, they're all Canadian cars, and number two, they've been sitting in the mud. So if they even still have the tag on them, they're usually just unreadable. On another note, I did find two 50s, we call them war cases. It's just because the casting code on them is WAR. It's the original 9-inch center. Hot rodders like them because they've got that old school cool look. So I found them buried in an old Chevelle station wagon, and I dug them out, and I left them sitting out where people can see them. I hope somebody will find them and use them up. But anyway, here's what we got today. This hook and base are for like a 70, 71 Valiant or Duster jack. The rest of the jack was there, but it was roach. It had been laying on the ground for 40 years, and it was done for. Deb has taken upon herself to collect the emblems off the school buses. So today we got a Wayne. I'm still looking for a Thomas for her. We've got a Bluebird, we've got a Wayne, and we're looking for a Thomas. I'll find her one eventually. I got this little Ford ball stud bracket for clutch linkage. This here, what is that? Is that an old Mercury? It might be from a Mercury. We got a little Valiant, a Valiant badge, and a couple of carriage bolts. Deb got this because it reminds her of the Pinto station wagon in the Blues Brothers when it falls from 1,000 feet in the sky. That's the funniest scene in the whole movie. Anyway, so that'll always make us think of that. And I got a lens. I'm always looking for these orange lenses. It's in a bag because the screws are with it. And that was it. Hopefully our next trip there will be more fruitful, because that's it for this weekend. Next weekend, that's going to be it. The last 4 days of Jackson's Auto Wreckers. At least this iteration of it. Fingers crossed. We'll see how things play out. But as it is right now, this is it. 4 days and it's done. And we're only going to get 3 days next week, because on the Friday we'll probably be at Spring Berry, weather permitting. Anyway, that's it. We'll see what we get in our next haul from Jackson's Auto Wreckers. So here's our latest load of loot from Jackson's Auto Wreckers. We just kind of went around and grabbed some. I was looking at some larger items that I've been I got to do a little bit of research. We'll be heading there first thing tomorrow morning, and I'm armed with the research that I'm going to do tonight. And we'll see about grabbing a few larger items. But anyway, here's the stuff we got today. A couple of old license plates. This one actually came after, this came off a truck that belonged to a fruit or a market garden, a vegetable guy right at Kingston Road in Lawrence. Adamo, I think was the name of it. I know where the place was, right at the top of Kitchener Road on Kingston Road. It later was occupied, the same place was occupied by Selby's Fruit Market, Chicken Joy. There was a bank in there. Now it's Krispy Kreme Donuts. But this truck back in the 60s belonged on that lot. So that's cool. That's a little nice. The Corvettes are out. Man, everybody's out. That's just a little piece of West Hill from Jackson's Auto Wreckers. And this one, I don't know where we even got that, but that was a cool one that we managed to mostly get off in one piece. Here's a bunch of tractor parts. This here, from upstairs in the barn, remnants of the auction. An old Rocket intake manifold gasket set for a 351 Windsor. That's okay. And this here is the lower valve cover gasket for a 5.9 Cummins. That's pretty cool. Genuine Cummins. A bunch of small U-bolts. These look like they're actually from like a small tube rear end, like a Chrysler 7 1/4 or something. Oh, it doesn't matter, they're U-bolts. Deb liked the badges on this international travel also. We popped them off. Once this stuff is gone, man, it's gone forever, and it's going to be gone very soon. I found some brake linings or brake blocks. These look very similar to the ones, of course I didn't have anything there to compare them to, but they look very similar to the ones that are on Ferguson tractors. They got 14-inch drum brakes on them, so I don't know, rather than paying a whole bunch of money for new brake shoes, we could maybe use these or these other ones here that I got. You know, that's very similar to the material, or maybe the same kind of material that they used on those Fergusons. A couple of Dodge hubcaps. One's a red stripe and the other is just a plain. That's actually a Plymouth one. Bunch more of these lenses. I think I've got enough now. Then we pulled this off a 68 Ford up on the hill. Every 68 Ford guy is always looking for these. I don't know how this one will clean up, but it's not all smashed up like they usually are. We got some, look at this, brand new little mud guards. Everybody used to put these on their cars, and these, everybody used to put these on their vans and pickups. This is Canadiana. But the best thing we found upstairs in the barn, a complete set of 4 Ford simulated mags. These ones by the centers, these were on a T-Bird, and they're nice. There's one little spot there of curb rub on this one, but really, when these things clean up, they're going to be beautiful. And these are neat. The lug nuts poke through them. They're big, heavy. They're multi-piece. These are nice hubcaps. This one's got a couple of little issues here. It's some of the studs are broken off that hold it together. We'll have to have a look at that. But anyway, very happy to have those. So, we'll be back down there tomorrow morning, and we're taking the trailer tomorrow because I'm going to hopefully get some heavy stuff. Anyway, time will tell. So we're up in here, and we're just going to see that we can hear there's a big machine up in here somewhere, either bringing out a car or bringing out an engine. Oh, what do we got here? It's a Ford engine. Oh, it's a little Windsor. All right, a 302 with a C4 on the back of it. Out she comes. And I think it came out of one of these vans. That's the easiest way to get it.
Oh yeah, it was in that gold one.
Yeah, it looks like it was in this old Dodge van here. Yeah. Well, there's lots of good stuff in here. He could just keep taking it out. There's probably all kinds of neat stuff. Look at this. This is the frame of the car. Poor old thing. Early 70s, big Merc. 460. So we're back home now, and I went crazy in there today. It was our last full day of actual picking in the yard. Tomorrow is the last day that it's open, and we're just gonna go and kind of more or less wander around and have a good time and chat with people and do some filming and just kind of wrap it up right before it's lights out. But anyway, we did pretty good today. We got all kinds of stuff. We met up with Nick in the morning, and we were going around there all day. And Nick, he'd been scrounging there. He knows where all the Mopar stuff is. Well, I'd been screwing around looking at Ford stuff for the last while. But anyway, we did get, these are a bunch of Ford exhaust components. More on this later. We may need this or we may not. But we have it for our, projects down the line. These here, the tread plate style of old school aluminum truck running boards. I've been grabbing these up when I could find them. I'll show you what we do with them. When we're working on these old tractors and we can't find the old school running boards, the accessory ones that people would put on them back in the day, we make them out of those old tread plate pickup truck running boards. They look just fine, I think. So we've got enough here to make 2 pairs of them. At least, I got to do my measuring. I may get 3 pairs out of them. I'm not 100% sure. Only time will tell. So then, we started going around with Nick with the Mopar stuff. And here we've got 3 pairs of A-body small block. Thank you very much. Loud pipes save lives. that guy will live forever. Anyway, we've got 3 pairs of small block Mopar A-body exhaust manifolds. These are not for 340s. These are just for 273s and 318s. A couple of them, we found one with a working heat riser. Oh, that one, the spring is broken. It'll take a little bit of work, but we've got them. That's the main thing. We got a pair of valve covers. These are earlier ones that don't have the big bracket on them back here for the EGR vacuum amplifier. We found a 7-blade small block fan. We've got a bunch of small block A-body motor mounts. Nick found us one more red stripe hubcap. And now we're, I guess, going to get into a little bit of Ford stuff here. These are a couple of separator plates for FE engines. Oh, this is Mopar. An inspection cover for a bell housing for a 10-inch clutch. These, a couple of alternator straps. I have no idea what they're for, but we'll use these on the tractors when we put the alternators on the tractors. Now we'll get to some of the larger. Oh, and here, these will come in. These are shift rods for a Ford 3-speed top loader. Here we've got, I found another F-150 SROD transmission. We'd already gotten one of these last week or the week before, and I found another one today. They're not making any more, so I grabbed it. And here's a little tip. This bell housing, all right, C5 TA 7505B. This fits Ford trucks from 1965 up with FE engines. And what is unique about this is the depth of it is different than a normal FE bell housing. And it allows you to use a small block or 6-cylinder transmission on the back of an FE. Do I recommend putting this on the back of an FE and putting drag slicks on it and doing 5,000 RPM launches? No, it'll explode. It's not made to take that. It's made for a 6-cylinder and a Windsor engine. But you know what? If you're a guy like me and you've just got a stock 390 and you got normal skinny tires on it and you just want to drive around with a car with a stick shift and an overdrive, you know what? It'll last. Or if you decided that you wanted to put a T5 behind a 352 or a 390, this bell housing will do it for you. So you can just use standard small block spec transmissions on an FE engine. This one here is a Tremec T150 3-speed manual, or as we call it in Mopar land, an A390. So unlike the A903 that most 6-cylinder A-bodies came with up until about 1974, this one is heavier duty, more comparable to the A230 transmission, and it is fully synchronized. I don't know why they stopped with the 230s, but starting in, I think, around 1974, this is the transmission that came in a 3-on-the-tree A-body. This is the transmission we swapped into our 71 Valiant to get rid of the unsynchronized 903. I have to do a little, I got to crawl underneath my Valiant because I don't think mine has such a long tail on it, right? I think mine's got more like a short car style tail, but I may be wrong. I have to check it out. But anyway, like everything else, we have it. That's the main thing. This one here, this is a Ford 303 top loader 3-speed. This is a car one. So this would have been in, like, you know, a Maverick, maybe a Granada. It's got the aluminum tail housing. It's got the aluminum tail housing with the mounting pad for a floor shifter. So this one came out of something with a 302 or a bigger 6-cylinder, not a 200, a 250 6-cylinder or a 302 with a 3-speed on the floor manual. My guess is it came out of a Maverick. So we found the transmission in a bus, and then later we found the shifter. There's something not quite right with this because there may be a little, I mean, it shifts, everything's fine there, but the shifter can actually get between the rods and pop out, so there may be a little bushing or something missing down there, or something's worn out. that is easily solved by using one of the, used to get in the old days, the 3-speed conversion shifters, aftermarket ones. I've got 2 or 3 of them around here. But anyway, it's got a Windsor or 6-cylinder bell housing on it. That's a nice little piece. This one here is also a top loader, 303. They call it a 303 because that's the distance in inches between the main shaft and the counter shaft. It's 3 inches and 30 thousandths. And this one here with the big cast iron tail shaft, this came out of an F100 with a 302 probably. It was column shifted. There's nowhere on the side of it to mount a floor shifter. Although, like I said, you can buy those universal fit ones that they attach to these bolts and these bolts here, and you can put a floor shifter on it if you want it. This one also has one of those 7505 bell housings on it. Something important with the 3-speed top loaders, I do not believe there was big block and small block ones. I think they were all in the small block configuration. That is why this bell housing exists. That's my understanding of it anyway. But these are, I mean, these 3-speed top loaders, these are like probably the best 3-speed transmissions ever made. They're absolutely indestructible. This here's the floor panel from 72 up right through about 1979. Dodge pickup or Ram Charger, 4-wheel drive. This one was an automatic. Obviously, there's no floor shifter. Oh, it could have been a 3 on the tree, I guess, also. But yeah, these are handy. I've got one in my red step side truck. There's I've also got an upcoming project where I may need this. So we were very happy to find this. We didn't have to take it out. It was just laying in the back of a truck. And this here's the last thing I'm going to show you. We had fun getting this out of here. They've got guys up there with little tractors or ATVs and little trailers and vans and pickup trucks going around helping you haul your stuff down from the hill. But this thing was at the bottom all the way down by the creek, and there was no getting this out with a machine. We had to lug it out. And I can't thank Nick from the Real Guy Garage enough for helping me with this, because I surely would have died trying to do this on my own. Anyway, what this is a Chrysler 8 3/4 rear end from a pickup truck. This will fit pickup trucks from 1961 right up until the middle 80s. And even then, the only thing that they changed was the bolt pattern. They went to the 5 on 5.5. If you want to change the rest of the truck back to 5 on 4.5, this will fit Dodge trucks right up to 1993. And this thing is awesome. What a great thing to have. So it's got a 741 center section, which is the kind of lighter duty one. It probably came from a truck with a 318 or a slant 6 in it, and likely an automatic. But the only thing we don't know is the gear ratio. So we're going to attempt to find that out now. I have to put a couple of chalk marks on it. It's a 1-wheel peel, so we can do this with just the 1 drum off. And what we're going to do, because we're going to have the differential doing the differential thing, I want to get this thing, let's see here. There. Okay, so we're going to have that. We're going to mark that like that. Right? We have to turn this. Now I'm trying to remember my 1-wheel peels here. I think we have to turn this twice. We have to turn this around twice and count how many times around that goes. And that'll be our gear ratio. I think. I may have to do this again, but that's what we're going to go with for now. So let's see what happens, Deb. Okay, it's gone around once. Okay, and the axle has gone around once. Now it's gone around 2. It's gone around 3. Now we got to start counting quarters and halves, Deb. It's gone around, what do you say there, Deb? A half and a little bit. So that's 355 gear we've got in this thing. That's okay. One wheel peel, 355 gear. So that's, too bad it doesn't have a sure grip. That'd be perfect for my little red truck. It's got a 355 sure grip, 9 1/4 in it right now. But anyway, that's good. At least we know what it is now. So we will write that right on it. 355, which was pretty much kind of the standard fair gear ratio in trucks back in the day. Anyway, so oh, and look at that. Did I show you this? I think I showed you this already, but I like to show it to you again. A red stripe hubcap. I think that's 4 of them that we've got. A complete set of 4 of them we've got out of there now. That's pretty cool. So anyway, that's it for Saturday, June the 7th, our last real day picking at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. We're going back tomorrow. There's one thing that Deb saw that she wanted that I didn't have the tool I needed to get it off today, so we'll make sure we got what we need to get it off tomorrow. And that'll do it. It'll be lights out at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Hard to believe it's finally got there, but it's finally got there. So we'll see you tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to wrap up the picking video. I'll show you what we get tomorrow. And then tomorrow we're also going to make just kind of a wrap-up video, a farewell to Jackson's video. And that'll do it. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. So here is our haul of loot from the last day at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. We didn't get a ton of stuff today. We were mostly there just kind of walking around, taking it all in one last time. We had a lot of conversations and a lot of laughs and a lot of stories with a lot of the people in there. It was really a great day. And my day ended with me and Nick on top of a truck. They had stuffed the remains of the frame of a 65 Ford. It had gotten stuffed in the back of a 1-ton truck, and the rear end was kind of sitting way up on top. And I went up there and looked at it, and so next thing you know, I'm up there with the Sawzall cutting away. And just as I was about to bring it down, I looked at the back side of it and found that it was a 9-inch rear end, for a 65 through 71 Ford, and somebody had stuck a fork right through the back of it. Oh well, so we left it there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We still got some loot. Most of this stuff was just kind of laying around. These are some emblems. Deb is going to make a little collage of emblems for inside her shed when we put it up. So that was cool. One of my favorite cars in the whole place is a black 65 Ford Custom 500 2-door post. And this is just so I can always remember that car. This is the badge off the fender. Another one of my favorite cars in there was a blue 67 Custom 500 2-door post. And this is the horn button from it, so I'll always be able to remember that car. This is neat. Got this off, how old is that? This old Trailmobile emblem. We got that off an old truck box. We got, these are, it's hard to see, but these are etched with the Ford script. These are original scripted Ford headlights. We saw some other ones there that had Ford cast right into the glass, but well, I saw one and I just couldn't get it out. And here is a fork and the bracket for a body slant 6 transmission with a 9-inch clutch. A couple more things we've got here. This is a big Ford tailpipe, which is nice. It's got the original bracket and hanger. That's beautiful. These are the exhaust manifolds that go with the Y pipe we got yesterday. These are both 1970 date coded, so or not date coded, casting numbers. So these probably came off a 70 Galaxy with a 302 in it. But they're the exact same manifolds that we need for that white pipe, so we got them. And then the last thing, the coolest thing we got ever at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. This medium blue 1979 Ford Granada nose. I'm not going to say too much about this. If you were around the Guildwood pizza scene growing up around Sir Wilfrid Laurier Collegiate Institute in Guildwood in the 1980s, well, you'll know what this nose means to me and some of my pals. This is the nose of Carl's Granada. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's a story I'll tell someday. So that's a wrap. That is all our loot we got over the last 2 weeks at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. Well, I already had a nice poignant ending for this, showing all my stuff and then lamenting at the fact that we were done at Jackson's Auto Wreckers. But just like the last time, the clouds are gone, the sun is shining. We're going back to Jackson's Auto Wreckers, and this time they're doing it big time. I'm in the description box below. I'll put a link to their Facebook page, but for now, I'll just show you. This is what they put out. There you go. You can have a look at that and read it. But anyway, like I said, there'll be a link in the description box below that you can follow and go over here and read that for yourself. Print it, do whatever you want. But we're going to get a lot of days in there over the summer and in the fall. And it's awesome. It just keeps going and going and going. I tell you, I'll be in there. Anyway, yeah. So another sad video with a happy ending. Well, it was looking like a sad video, but turned into a happy one with a happy ending. Anyway, that's it. That was our loot, and there's going to be a lot more loot to come. I can't wait. We'll see you in there, eh? Anyway, thanks for tuning into the Claremont Classic Garage. Hope you'll come back and see us again. And until then, I'm Kevin, saying so long for now.